Welcome back to In Response EDH. My name is Albert, and today we have another great EDH gameplay video for you. Before we introduce our players, make sure you stay tuned to the end of the episode to find out how to enter our very first giveaway. On today's episode, we have Alec making his first appearance on the show, and he'll be playing Syr Konrad the Grim. His opening hand consists of Forever Young, Pontiff of Blight, Grim Tutor, Command the Dreadhorde, Empowered Auto-Generator, and 2 Swamps. I'm up next, and I brought one of my favorite commanders, Pramikon, Sky Rampart. I keep an opening hand of Talisman of Creativity, Time Wipe, Mana Confluence, Flooded Strand, Temple of Triumph, Temple of Enlightenment, and Temple of the False God. Daniel's back, and he's got a new deck. He brought with him Licia, Sanguine Tribune. He keeps an opening hand of Heirloom Blade, Urge to Feed, Indulging Patrician, Vanquisher's Banner, Ancient Ziggurat, a Plains, and a Swamp. Baron is also back, and he's brought his new commander, Osgir the Reconstructor. And he keeps an opening hand of Winds of Abandon, Mystic Forge, Arcane Signet, Cursed Mirror, a Mountain, and 2 Plains. With the introductions out of the way, let's start the game. Baron starts the game with a Mountain and passes. Daniel plays an Ancient Ziggurat and passes to me. I drop a Temple of Triumph, scry a card to the bottom, and pass to Alec. Alec plays a Swamp and passes to Baron. Baron draws and plays a Plains, taps both lands and casts an Arcane Signet. Daniel just plays a Swamp and ends his turn. I untap and draw, then play an Exotic Orchard as my land for turn, and tap 2 mana to cast a Talisman of Creativity, and pass. Alec just plays another Swamp and passes to Baron. Baron drops a Darksteel Citadel on the field, and casts his commander, Osgir the Reconstructor. With nothing else, he ends his turn. Daniel plays a Plains as his land drop, and casts an Indulging Patrician. I start by playing another Temple, scrying a card and keeping it on top of my deck. I then tap all my mana, taking 1 from the Talisman to cast my commander, Pramikon, Sky Rampart. As it enters, I choose Right, making all players only able to attack the person to the right. Alec plays another Swamp and pays 3 life to cast a Grim Tutor. Baron starts turn 4 by playing a Clifftop Retreat. He taps his Signet to activate Osgir's first ability, sacrificing it and giving himself +2/+0 until end of turn. He moves to combat and can only swing at Alec for 6 damage. On his second main phase, he pays 2 and taps Osgir to exile the Signet and creates 2 token copies of it. He follows that up by casting a Mystic Forge, looking at the top card of his deck, and passing. Daniel draws for turn and plays a Swamp. He taps it and casts a Soul Ring. He taps 3 mana to cast an Heirloom Blade. He then pays 1 more mana to equip the Patrician with the blade and moves to combat. He swings his Vampire Baron, dealing him 4 damage and gaining 4 life. He then moves to his end step, and the Patrician drains the table for 3 more life since he gained more than 3 life this turn. I untap and draw. I play a Flooded Strand, pay 1 life to crack it, and search up a Raugrim Triumph to the battlefield tapped, and choose to just pass the turn. Alec draws and drops another Swamp on the battlefield, and casts an Empowered Auto-Generator. On his end step, Baron pays 1 life and taps his Mystic Forge to exile the top card of his library. He then untaps and draws. He plays a Plains, taps 2 mana to cast a tapped Marble Diamond, He then pays 1 to use Osgir to sacrifice it, giving him +2/+0. He then moves to combat and swings Osgir at Alec, giving him 12 commander damage. He taps 2 and Osgir to exile the marble diamond and make 2 token copies of it. Daniel untaps and draws. He moves straight into combat and swings his Vampire Baron, dealing 4 damage and gaining 4 life. On his second main phase, he pays only 4 mana to cast his commander, Licia, Sanguine Tribune, thanks to her cost reduction. He activates her ability, paying 5 life to put 3 +1/+1 counters on her. On his end step, the Indulging Patrician triggers and we all lose 3 life. I untap and draw for turn. I drop a Temple of the False God as my land for turn. I tap 3 mana and cast Heuristic Study. With nothing else, I pass to Alec. Alec starts his turn by casting Forever Young, just to draw a card, and puts a charge counter on the Empowered Auto-Generator. Taps all 4 lands and casts an Eradicator Valkyrie to protect himself from Baron's commander, not paying 1 for the Heuristic Study. Turn 6 starts with Baron drawing a card and looking at the top card with his Mystic Forge, tapping it and paying 1 life to exile it. He then looks at the top card again, pays 2 mana, and casts a Thought Vessel. After that, he taps 3 mana to cast Licia, Clockwork Scholar. He follows that up by casting Lightning Greaves, which he chooses to equip to his commander. Baron then pays 1 mana to sacrifice his Darksteel Citadel, and taps Osgir to exile the Citadel to make 2 copies of it. Daniel casts Vanquisher's Banner on his turn, not paying for the Heuristic Study, and I draw a card. He then moves to combat and swings at Baron with both his creatures. Daniel pays 5 life to put 3 +1/+1 counters on Licia and deals 16 damage to Baron, and gains 16 life. On his end step, the Patrician will trigger again and drain the table for 3. I play a Mana Confluence as my land for turn, tap 5 and cast Time Wipe, destroying all creatures and returning my commander to my hand. Daniel's Heirloom Blade will trigger, and he reveals cards from his deck until he hits a vampire. He finds a Voldaren Pariah and puts it in his hand. I follow that up by casting a Dockside Extortionist, creating 13 treasures. I sacrifice 5 treasures to cast Keranos, God of Storms, and another 3 to cast my commander. Choosing right again and pass to Alec. Alec draws for turn, taps his generator for 2 mana to cast Mesmeric Orb. He follows that up by paying 4 to cast his commander, not paying for either of the study tax. Baron starts his turn by milling 12 cards due to the Mesmeric Orb. Revealing 3 creatures, and Syr Konrad deals 3 damage to each of us. He then draws for turn and taps 3 to cast Cursed Mirror to copy the Dockside Extortionist and pays the study tax. I respond by casting a Force of Negation to counter it, and the spell gets exiled. After that, Baron pays 6 to cast his commander again and pays the study tax. He then equips the Greaves to his commander. He taps Osgir and pays 0 to make 2 copies of Mishra's Bauble. He sacks them and chooses to look at the top card of Daniel in my library. On Daniel's upkeep, Baron draws 2 cards from the bauble. Daniel mills the top 5, revealing 3 creatures. And Syr Konrad hits us all for another 3 damage. He then casts a Bishop of Rebirth, not paying for the study tax, but I forget to draw. He then attaches the heirloom blade to the bishop and passes. I start by milling 6 cards and only milling an Age and a Treachery. And we all take 1 damage. I reveal the first card I drew with 𝐄𝐩𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐸, and since it's a non-land card, I can deal 3 damage to a creature or player, and I choose to deal 3 damage to Baron. Play Felidar Guardian.
Ooh.
Hit the dockside.
In response. I cannot scoop it into speed, but I can do this. Pay 1 life. Exile top card of my library.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah,
This would even get exiled.
Good shit.
Got him.
After that terrible turn of events, I blink the dockside and only make 5 treasures. I then play a Riverglide Pathway as my land drop and pass the turn. Alec mills 6 cards and doesn't hit any creatures, thankfully. He then taps the generator for 3 black mana, paying the study tax to cast a Glistening Oil. In response, I sack 4 treasures to cast Chemist's Insight, drawing 2 cards. I then pay 4 more and discard a card to jumpstart it, drawing 2 more cards. I don't find an answer and it resolves. With nothing else, he passes the turn. On Daniel's upkeep, I cast a Teferi's Protection to avoid any unnecessary infect damage. And Daniel mills 5 cards, revealing 3 creatures, and receiving 3 poison counters. He moves straight into combat and swings at Alec. Alec doesn't block and takes 7. He then returns the Indulgent Patrician to the battlefield with the Bishop's attack trigger. On his cleanup phase, he discards a Blood Mad Vampire into Madness and draws a card from the Vanquisher's banner. He then discards 2 more cards, getting 1 more poison counter for discarding a creature. I untap 7 permanents and mill 7 cards, 4 of which were creatures, giving me and Daniel 4 poison counters. I then draw and reveal an Echo of Aeons from the 𝐄𝐩𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐸 trigger, and deal 3 damage to Daniel's Blood Mad Vampire. As it dies, we each get another poison counter. I then cast a Revelark for its evoke cost, returning the Agent of Treachery to the battlefield. This gives me and Daniel 2 more poison counters, killing Daniel. I try to steal Alec's commander with the agent. With the target on the stack, Alec activates Syr Konrad's ability twice to have me mill the top 2 cards of my deck, revealing 2 more creatures, bringing me up to 8 poison counters. Alec then casts Murderous Cut, delving away 4 cards and 1 creature, and kills the Agent of Treachery. Alec can't pay for the study trigger, and I draw a card, but can't find an answer and get my last 2 poison counters, earning Alec the win. Congratulations goes out to Alec on his first victory on In Response. Syr Konrad's ability is great and all, but when you replace it with Infect, it's really awesome. Alec's deck didn't seem to be doing much most of the game, but that just shows you the true power of Infect. He was able to kill us in just 1 turn cycle. Looking back on the game, there was way better lines of play I could have taken, where I didn't need to take so much poison damage, but it is what it is. Good job on the win, Alec. And finally, to give thanks to our community, we're giving away a complete set of 30 dual land proxies from our good friend @BadLuckMagicClub on Instagram. To be entered, all you have to do is leave a like and leave a comment down below. The giveaway ends June 18th, and the winner will be announced live on our Twitch stream that same day. Well, that's it for episode 17. We hope you enjoyed it. We here at In Response would like to thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure you follow us on our social medias. We also stream every Friday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you for watching. Have an awesome day.